Hey, we're gonna evaluate a build by Pitbullbars 4x4. This is a Nissan Patrol GQ built specially for an OPM pop icon. Now, let's stare at the vehicle for a bit. It's pretty cool, huh? An all-black theme, very imposing, very intimidating to look at. It's pretty awesome. The first thing that struck me was, isn't this the Nissan Patrol Safari, the one that looked so out of proportion and humongous? But the first thing I really noticed was how Pitbullbars 4x4 camouflaged the bubble top. You know, I used to hate that bubble top, but that bubble top seems to be very practical, because without that bubble top you won't be able to do the dual air conditioning vents in the back. But the way they mounted the awning, the high lift jack, just camouflages the bubble top, and it almost seems like flat roof. Good job there, guys. The paint is nice, black and glossy, very intimidating to look at, especially with those Maxxis Trepadors. These are 38s, I believe, and on 16x8 or 16x10 rims. I believe these rims are steel and bead-locked, legit bead-locks, not just faux bead-locks. The interior looks very spick and span. It looks like they've made a faux leather seat covers. Nicely done. It goes very well with the interior. What I see here also is a steel custom snorkel, steel custom bull bar, steel rock slider steps, steel rear bull bar with swing away tire carrier and jerry can carrier, and they all are finished with Raptor paint. Now we're looking at the hood, and there is a functional hood scoop because Pitbullbars 4x4 put an aftermarket turbo with a intercooler. This is a top mount intercooler, very nicely done. The plumbing is very neat. I also see a custom airbox for the custom snorkel. Awesome, really awesome job. It's a rotary engine, pretty reliable. But for its size, the torque and horsepower performance really pales in comparison with the new diesels now. So the new turbo and the intercooled turbo will probably help in the horsepower department. Really, I can't get over the paint. You know, one thing I like about Pitbullbars 4x4, they seem to be a one-stop shop. They will do everything from custom manufacturing, bolt-on painting, and they probably will source also the parts for you, all the accessories. And now this particular Patrol on a 4-inch suspension lift by way of Tough Dog. In the front, we see a return to center steering stabilizer, high strength steering drag link, I believe made by Monsterworks. Now, this is one beautiful behemoth to look at. It really looks great. On the looks department, it really ranks high, even on performance. This particular Patrol can be used off-road, but there's an absence of a winch. So I really don't know what the owner wants to do with this. Probably this vehicle is just for weekends, and it's probably an icebreaker and something to talk about, or something that looks good in the garage. Because looking at the Trepador tires, you know, these are mean, extreme off-road tires, and they're mostly used for competition. Using those tires on a leisurely drive won't be what's this? It will be something I'd recommend, because they will be really noisy. I don't know if Pitbullbars did any sound editing, but I'm sure by now Mr. Buendia, the owner of the vehicle, was probably going crazy with the sound those Trepadors generate on the road. So what we're probably looking at is an off-road vehicle made to look really mean, made to look capable, but I don't think it's really meant for off-road. Number one, why? As I mentioned, there's no winch. Number two, the side draft exhaust tips, they're right underneath the rock slider steps. So in an off-road situation, those things will just, they'll be squashed, they'll be squished. So I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. Again, these are on 38s. Yep, they really look good. They could have gone using a mud terrain, not a mud terrain, a milder mud terrain, a rugged terrain, or probably an all terrain, for the vehicle to be probably more pleasant on on-road drives. All in all, I think this is really a masterpiece build by Pitbullbars 4x4, made specifically to the specs of the owner. I really don't know what the owner's going to do with it, but as I said, it can be used off-road, but it still lacks a winch. They got to do something about the side draft exhaust tips. They really have no place there. A winch will be really, really good to have on. I really, really love this build. Number one, I love the paint job. I love the scheme, the all-black scheme. The trepadors, they really look cool, but as I said, they just look cool. They won't really, they'll be nasty on road, but really, really nasty off road too. Nasty in a good way. So kudos to the build, to the builder and to the owner. That's a lovely Nissan Patrol GT you got there. Well built. Well, congrats to Pitbullbars 4x4 for an awesome build, and for Mr. Buendia for owning such a wonderful ship. Hey, this is Kits Aragon for the Off-Road Exchange. Happy trails.